Napa know-how.
The Napa guy knows not to judge a man by his car's multicolored paint job or absence of modern gadgetry. Who cares if it's technically old enough to vote and the windows are powered by the strength of your left arm? Your monthly payment is zero, and it'll stay that way. Because with over 500,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. She may not be pretty, but she's all yours. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
You're tuning in to the Goldilocks presentation of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walking Crow, found transformational energy healing through a personal search into healing and was transformed by this experience. He made the decision to pursue training and has since become a certified energy healing practitioner with an emphasis on working with clients in recovery from addiction. His willingness to be open and listen has allowed him to be of service to many who seek a peaceful, serene, and healthier body, mind, and spirit. Call in now if you would like to speak with Anthony. The call-in number is 713-955-0332. Enjoy this transformational and healing show.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and thank you, and welcome to another Tuesday edition of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And my name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I'm your host. And I'd like to welcome you to my right here, right now. I'd like to welcome you to my manifestation. I'd like to welcome you to my fire, my power, my right here, right now, my fuego. I am, I can, I will, I do. That's what we're going to be talking about today. The third chakra, fire, fuego, and standing in your power, standing in your being, standing in who it is you are and who I am. And welcome to mine. And I say welcome to mine because 2 years ago, I didn't have this radio show. I wasn't doing this. I was doing other things. And 2 years ago, how time flies and how things change when you're doing the things that are in front of you and doing the things you love and doing things that you want to do and should do, and not doing things out of duty and living up to the expectation of others. Aho, can I get a witness? Yes, so welcome to another edition, Tuesday edition of the Transformational Sacred Medicine Show. And if you're going to call in, or if you want to call in, you can call in by dialing 713-955-0332 and pushing one to get out of the listen mode. And my producer, Tiffany, will know that you want to talk to me or you'll have a question. And I'm looking forward to having an exciting show today. Last week was spectacular. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say and I don't know where it's going to come from, but I guess that's not true. I always know where it comes from. I always know that Source is my source and Creator, Great Spirit, is with me, and all my relations, Aho, and my spirit animals and my spirit guides and all those who stand in my favor are here with me, along with those humans who are here on Earth who support me in a good way, Aho. So I know where the information comes from, and I know why. The why is because I have the experience to back it up, and I've walked through the fires, and I've walked through the fuegos, and I've walked through the things that life brings to me, and I come out the other side new and improved, different, and more learned. And what I mean by more learned is that there's a lot to teach once you've walked through a fire and you come through the lesson. There are those that are going to come my way that I'll be able to help in a good way, I hope. So, welcome aboard. And it's a beautiful Tuesday. It's cooler today. It's it was drizzly, rainy today in Los Angeles, and it's a beautiful day. And before I get started, I want to say thank you to my producer Tiffany White for being as fabulous as she is, and I know she's been battening down the hatches back to Connecticut with the weather and the cold freeze and all that stuff that's happening back there. And I want to start by saying palabra, word, and when I say that, I say that because of the way that I'm supposed to be walking, or I'm walking, and hopefully I'm walking in a good way. I'm in my truth, I'm in my word, and I'm doing things in a good way, I hope. And so the third chakra, fire, fuego, direction of the east, direction of fire, grandfather sun, direction of manifesting, direction of intention, and do you set an intention for yourself when you're walking through life and you're going through things, or you want to do something? Do you pay yourself lip service and say that you talk about doing things, right? But do you just talk about it, or do you actually do something about it? Do you actually make the changes in your life that you talk about, like the resolutions that we set for the 1st of January? Do we actually follow through with the resolutions of the beginning of the year that we set for ourselves, and follow through with it? And then come up on the 40 days and 40 nights of the Easter, of Lent, and then give something up for who knows what reason, when you haven't completed the other. I mean, there's lots of reasons to do lots of things, but if you're just paying yourself lip service and giving yourself double talk, because only you have to live with you, but the rest of us are going to have to hear your story. What is it you're going to do? What is it that you're willing to change? When I came to making changes in my life, and people look at me and ask me, because I look completely different than I did 5 or 6 years ago. I look completely different, even physically. I manifested a different human being. The guy you see before me, and when you see me, when you encounter me, is not the guy that I was 5 or 6 years ago, because the guy that I was 5 or 6 years ago was 238 pounds, and I'm 160 pounds now. And I no longer carry those burdens, those blocks, and those hurts, and those wounds, and those traumas in my body, a whole. I'm no longer hidden it up in my head, allowing myself to manifest, stuffing with food and alcoholism and all those other things that I suffered through for a long time, and self-suffered. Somebody else didn't do that to me. I did that to myself, a whole. How I am with information, what I do with the information that's presented to me, I'm responsible for it. I can no longer blame others for the things that happen to me. I am truly responsible. And if I'm truly responsible, what is it I'm going to do? Am I just going to talk about it? Am I going to leak all over everybody? And am I going to cry about it? No, there's not a lot I can do. But if I want to not be that way, I'm going to do something, and it's going to be change. And what do I have to change? Anthony, you have to change everything, a whole. And that's the advice that I give people when they ask me how I have transformed. And I said I had to change everything. Is it easy? No. And that scares people, because that means they have to do something. And most people don't want to do very much. They want to take a pill. They want to take a 1-day cleanse or a 3-day cleanse or something, and think that's going to fix the problem. But that doesn't fix the problem. They can't even complete that. How can you want to change your life and be a different person and to step into your fire, your fuego? I can, I will, I do, if you're not even simply ready or willing or wanting to change everything and step into your power. Who cares what other people think? That's what holds us back. We're sometimes concerned with the surrounding opinions of what we're going to do or what somebody else is doing, and you just want to be like them. Who cares? Who cares? If I cared about what other people thought of me, I really cared, and let it rule my life, I wouldn't be talking to you on the radio. I wouldn't be doing this show. I would never have become an energy healer. I would never become a medicine man, a shamanic drummer, and the teacher that I am, and do the things that I do. And I do those things because I decided to step into my power, to step out of the intention or the well-meanings of other people, and the intention of living up to duty or in duty to in indebtedness to those people who say they love me but don't really, because they ask me to do things that aren't good for me and don't serve my full purpose, my full self purpose of who I am and what I've come here to do. I hope. I support me. I support me 110%. And I surround myself with people who support me, and I support in who they are, not who I think they should be. Not who I think they should be. I don't know if there's anybody that thinks they have to live up to what I would like them to be, because, I just hope there isn't anybody out there like that, because how you live is not my business. How I live and how I love you is my business. How I support you. And I want to be able to do that. Yesterday, I want to talk about this. I had a tough day. I had to deal with some personal business with regards to my car, and it didn't turn out the way that, things changed, and things were said that were untrue by those who were fixing it, and it really kind of threw me off kilter. And as that was happening, I received a phone call and a message from a young man, a little boy, a 7-year-old boy named Valentino, who I gave a drum to. I gave my drum to. I made a 10-inch hand drum, and I painted it with the walking crow on it, and the 4 directions, and I presented it to him because he had been asking his mother for a drum, and he talks about how he is feeling more. He's a 7-year-old boy. Where did somebody learn this sort of thing? And he knows this about himself. So I took him up to the mountains, up to the foothills here in Altadena, and I presented him with the drum in front of his mom and in front of another friend of mine who is a healer and her nephew, and created a celebration and a ceremony just for this young man. But he called me yesterday and left me a message when I was basically having a meltdown. Hi, human. And the message, I first read it in text because I get the message in voicemail and in text. And it sounded like was something else. But when I heard it, it was the most incredible message of this little young man just wanting to say hello and wanting me to come see him and wanting to come see me. And he let me know that he was taking care of his drum, and it made me proud. It really did, because he heard my voice, he heard my words as I heard his the day of that ceremony. He asked for that drum, and he's a special young man, and I believe he's a young man that lives inside of me, because after all, this is springtime, the time of the born and the unborn, new beginnings, and sometimes I forget to be playful and childlike, and I become childish, and that's not okay. It's not okay to be childish. So I step into my power as a child today, and the life that I am, and the being that I'm trying to be and wanting to be. Not that I talk about being, but I am and actually accomplishing and doing and being. And I thank that young man. I thank Valentino for reminding me to be childlike, a whole. And I thank him for his phone call. I'm going to call him later on today and see if we can hang out. But anyways, remember that, I said, hi, human. And, sometimes even when we're trying to walk into our fire and be in our root and being who we are, life gets kind of tough, and sometimes we react, and it's okay to react, It's okay to react. I mean, and just we have to be mindful of how we react, and how is it I want to react, and what is it that I want from somebody else if I react the same way, in a good way, and do I want something from somebody else? I expect a lot from myself, as a person that I am, but I also forgive myself. I'm also forgiving for myself when I can't walk the way I think I'm supposed to be walking at a particular time. I try not to get into judgment on myself, and it's difficult. But the great thing about being who I am and the way I reach out to people, because I have a big circle of people that I can reach out to, but I have a smaller circle of people that I really, really go to. My friends like Crow Mother, Emma, and Judy Love, and Master Seal, a whole. And, and I go to these people, and I respect them, and I love them, and they remind me that it's okay. It's all going to be okay, and it's always okay, no matter what it looks like, So, how do you want to step into your fire? how do you want to be in your root chakra and be that tree that doesn't get knocked down by the four winds? Because I've had a lot of four winds. I've had a lot of four winds, and I lost a few branches, but it's springtime, and it's a different day. And and I want to say the lunar eclipse last month and the solar eclipse really set us up and set me up for a new beginning in a new time and manifesting in a whole new different way, because I never know what manifesting is going to look like. I leave that in the hands of my Creator, Great Spirit, Aho, in the four directions, the Mother Earth, and all my relations that surround me, and with good medicine. And today I got a phone call. No, it's not true. I received a message via social media from somebody I've known for, probably about 5 or 6 years, from here in South Pasadena. And she reached out to me because she needs help. She wants help. She feels she's in trouble. She's afraid. She said she's afraid and she's ashamed. And, I assured her that there's no reason to be afraid. You're not I'm alone. I'm here. You're never alone. You're not alone. And I just reminded her that shame is not hers to carry. It's not hers, and I'll be able to talk to her later on today and sit with her and see where she's at. This is the medicine that I get to carry. Why do I get to carry this medicine? Why do I get to receive a message like that, a text message like that? Because I have stepped into my power. I have stepped into who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing, not living up to the expectation of others based on how they live or based on how they do things. I step into it how I step into it. 713-955-0332. Call in and let me know what's on your mind. Ask the hard question. Let us give you a healing. Let's talk about what's going on with you. Dial 1, push 1 to get out of listen mode so we can have that conversation. It's another Taco Tuesday on the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I'm here to listen to what you have to say. I'm here to help you, and as you're here to help me too. Because as I assume, and they say never assume because it makes an ass out of you and I. As I assume to be helping you, most times you don't know it, but you're helping me. And I learn through every experience. When I talk to people on the radio show, or when I receive a text message, or a message through social media, or a Skype, or whatever it looks like, or if somebody comes into my office to see me, or if I go to see them, whatever it looks like, I receive a healing. I'm cared for in that way, and so are you, I hope. Really quick, I want to talk about an event that's going to be coming up. It's a little ways off. But I want to invite everybody to the Monrovia Alternative Healing and Artisan Fair. This is going to be held on May 21st, 2017, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the beautiful city of Monrovia. I and Dr. Teresa Smith of Hands to Health Wellness Center are going to be putting on this event, and we're going to have energy healing, energy and Reiki healers this season. We're going to have sound healers, massage, essential oils, organic and healthy foods, candles, soaps, spiritual mediums, psychics, organic juices, crystals, card readers, artists, music, and more. We're going to have people who are going to be doing presentations. They're going to be inside. And it's just going to be a day of healing in different ways, a day of community, and a day of fellowship, which is the bigger way to heal. Excuse me. In fellowship. So, come on out to Hands to Health Wellness Center and on May 21st and support the community and support Dr. Smith and myself. And, meet some new people, pick up some gifts for friends, and just spend the day with us healing and being a part of. Thank you very much. So, well, all right. So the third chakra is all about, the fire, the fuego. And how bright is your fire burning? Are you able to stand in your fire? Are you able to be in your esteem? Do you have esteem? Do you have self-worth? Do you have self-esteem? Are When you take a breath into your body, are you taking it just into your chest, or are you allowing that breath, that holy breath, to oxygenate your body, oxygenate your lungs, oxygenate your heart, and allow it to flow downward into your third chakra, into that fire, the fuego, and stoke that fire, because fire does not burn without oxygen. And the more oxygen you give that fire, that fuego, that I can, I will, I do, that fire burns brighter, burns bigger. It burns bigger, and it burns really big. And that fire hits that water in the second chakra, and it heats that water, and it boils that water, and allows that holy vapor called steam to float upward into that third chakra of that place of the fire, and up beyond that, and into the heart, and it warms your heart, and the holy vapor permeates the heart space and floats upward and clears your voice in the fifth chakra, and opens up the passageway to allow you to come back down out of your brain, out of your head, and into your voice to talk about the things that are necessary for you to stand in the love of yourself, and in your fire, in your fuego, and in your connection to yourself and others, and in your root of who you are. That's a lot of words. Taking that breath. Are you taking that breath and stoking that fire? Can you say yes? You can say no. It's okay if you don't. You just, we're here to support you, and we're here to help you do that. Do you not know how to do that? And do you not know that maybe you should do that? There's a lot of things that I didn't know when I started down my path as an energy healer. And I didn't know that I was going to become a medicine man. I didn't know that people were going to call me shaman. I didn't know that people were going to call me different things. And here I am, and here I am. So what is it, and how is it you're going to step into your fire or your fuego? How is it you're going to manifest things that you didn't have any idea were going to happen? How is it? How is it? How can you? Do you want to? That's what you have to ask yourself. And I'm here to ask you that same question. And not only am I here to ask you that same question, I'm here to support you in that. What direction do you want to travel in? Do you want to travel? Do you want to go up the road less traveled, or do you want to be on the road of the mundane and what other people are doing? Both are good roads. But what is it that you want to do for yourself? Where is it that you want to stand for yourself? How is it you want to be with yourself? How is it you want to support yourself? Can you stand in the fire when all heck is breaking loose, and you don't know which direction to turn? Can you stand in that fire? I've had to learn how to do that. I've had to learn how to stand on my own, especially lately. I said it's been tough, but like I said, there's people in my life who are out there who love me, who support me. There are people who are out there from far away. There are people that are here close by, and there are people I haven't met yet. People I haven't met yet that are going to support me because I'm just me, and because they like what I do, and they like who I am, and that's okay too. Are you willing to change your life? And if you're willing to change your life, are you willing to change all aspects of your life? Change is change. If you want to change your life, change your life. Where do you want to start? Tell somebody in confidence that you'd like to change that. Tell somebody who cares for you and who loves you. That you want to change. Call me at this station, 713-955-0332, and tell me. I want to change. I want to make a difference in my own life. Can you, do you? Will you? Can you, will you, do you? Making changes in life are not easy, but they're necessary. The old adage of alchemy, of turning iron into steel. You put it into the fire to purify it. And when you pull it out, it becomes steel, and it becomes stronger and harder. How do you want to alchemize your life, if I can use that term. Is that the correct term? Somebody will tell me. Please correct me. I'm not sure. But how do you want to change your life? How do you want to make it happen? You can make it happen. Only you can make it happen. Somebody can't do it for you. You know, the boyfriend can't do it for you. The husband can't do it for you. The wife can't do it for you. The girlfriend can't do it for you. You know, they can enhance your life and make your life better. But only you can make your life happen. Only you can make the change happen. How is it you want to change that? How is it you want to modify your life and catapult yourself into a fourth dimension of being, of new being, of standing in the fire, standing in your roots, standing firm as a tree and holding your branches into the sky and reaching out into the sky with your branches, allowing yourself to reach up to the sun, to the sky, and create a great spirit, and allowing the birds of the air to nest in your branches, to nest in your tree, and eat from your fruit. Aho, mitakiasi. Aho. Aho. 713-955-0332. Give us a call. You know, push one to get out of listen mode. You know, let me know what's on your mind. Let me know how you want to manifest. Let me know if you want to manifest. Let me know if you want to change the things in your life that have been blocks for you for a lifetime, for half a lifetime, for a year, for 6 months, for 2 hours, 3 hours. What is it that's been in your way? What are the things that you allow to stand in your way? I remember as a little child kicking against the stone wall I built around myself. I won't give in. I won't feel guilty. I'll just rise up and I'll be myself. I'm just trying to get through. Aho. I remember as a little child kicking against the stone wall I built around myself. What is the stone wall between you and your ultimate goal? What is the stone wall between you and the ultimate you? What is the stone wall between you and the ultimate power that you want to step into to transcend, transform, transition, and transmute a life that you're tired of living and you want to move into a new life? How do you want to do that? Aho. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help you make that change. I'm here for transformation. I'm here to help you make that transformation. I have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. I have transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. What is a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body that you want to transform from? And I say seemingly because it's not true. It's not true that you're stuck. I hear people say that word all the time. And I talked to some people today over Skype, and they kept saying, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And I said, stop talking to yourself that way. Stop saying you're stuck. You're not stuck. You keep telling yourself you're stuck. You're not stuck. Stop feeding yourself poison. You know, stop listening to the words of others. Come up with your own words. You know, and I say that because, you know, on social media, I quote a lot. I post a lot of quotes. But I do this weird thing that I post my own quotes. I don't post quotes of others. I post my own quotes. I have cleared so much baggage out of my auric field, if you will, or I have approached it in such a different way that the creativity comes from within me, not from outside of me. I mean, I like Shakespeare and Rumi and all those that I read just as much as anybody else. But guess what? I'm just as quotable as anybody else. Oh, and I stand in my power, and I let you hear my voice, not just on this radio show where I stand in my power, but also in social media where I post the things that I feel I need to say because they're the things that burn inside me. What burns inside of you? When are you going to be willing to let that fire be stoked by your breath and give yourself love through your heart? Allow that breath to come through your heart space and through your heart and through your lungs and stoke that fire and give yourself the fire and the heat and the energy that you need to become who you are always meant to be, to stand in your purpose, to stand in your being, to stand in the light of your soul, not the darkness of your brain and your head. Aho. Aho. Wow. Thank you for letting me say that, Creator, Great Spirit. Thank you for giving me the breath of life, the breath that I take into my feet every day. Every day I wake up, aho. When will you breathe into your feet? When will you breathe into your second chakra? And on the way down to your second chakra, you stoke that fire that burns inside. When will you stoke your own fire and stop waiting for somebody else, him or her, to stoke your fire? They can't do it for you. I am proof in the pudding. Aho. I am proof in the pudding. The other person can't stoke my fire. I have to be that bellow, if you will. A bellows is something that you stick into a fire and you move it up and down, and it fills with air and it blows air into a fire. A blacksmith uses it. It's called the bellows. Oh. 713-955-0332. It's a beautiful day. And this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And my name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. And how can I help you? How can I be with you? How can I stand behind you and support you? How can I stand next to you and be with you? How can I stand in front of you and lead you? Aho. What can I be for you today that you can be for me tomorrow? Oh. Allow us to mirror each other and be the examples of moving forward, of change, of alchemy. And I'm going to start using the word alchemy even more and more. Every time I speak, I'm going to start using that word, alchemy. Manifestation, change. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? All right. So last week we were talking about the second chakra, connection. And when will you step into the connection of self, this connection to your heart from your second chakra, through your fire, your fuego? Because that's the only way to be able to do it, is through that place. You can't do it any other way. You have to go through the fire, the fuego of the third chakra. Oh. So it's 1:32, and I'm going to ask everybody if you would put your feet flat on the floor. If you're standing up, stand straight. Drop your hands next to your side, and if you're sitting down, just place your hands on your thighs, just above your knees. And I'll ask you to sit up straight, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you to take a breath right down through the lungs, past the lungs into the third chakra, and stoke that fire. See that fire grow. Close your eyes and allow that fire to grow. Burn brighter, burn hotter. Oh. And exhale. One more time, take that fire in. And stoke that fire, that breath, and stoke that fire and allow that fire to grow and be extended. Stand downward into your feet, into your second chakra, into your root, and allow it to burn. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. Real big all the way down to your feet, and feel that fire burn. Feel that water boil, and feel that steam come upward into your third chakra. And heat that third chakra and warm that heart and clear that fifth chakra of the blocks, and allow yourself to come out of your brain, out of your head, and into your voice, into your expression, into your epiglottis, into your hands. Your expression, a forgiving expression. It forgives you for allowing yourself to live in your voice. To live in your heart, to live in your soul. How do you want to live in your soul? Do you want to live free, or do you want to live in bondage? You don't have to live in bondage of living in the mind, living in the brain. And let me remind you, and I need to say this, the mind is not in the head. That's the brain. The mind is out here with the soul. The mind is out here with the the auric field. and the soul is in the same place. And where do you want to live, and how do you want to live? 713-955-0332. And call in. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. We'd like to hear from you. I say we because it's not just me here. There's many people here in the studio with me. There's my spirit guides. There's the spirit animals. There's creative and spirit. We have the 4 directions. We have the 4 directions who have come in from all directions. I have Mother Earth. I have Grandfather Sun, Father Sky, the grandmother trees and the stone people, grandmothers and the grandfathers, the ancestors, they're all here. The archangels, they all support me. They're all here, and they are always here because I believe that they are here to be with me and to support me in anything and everything that I do, and no matter what that looks like. Whether it looks tragic or whether it looks triumphant, they are always here by my side, in front of me, behind me, above me, below me, to the left and to the right of me, because I believe that they are. I live in the Christ consciousness. And I believe in the compassion of Kuan Yin. And how is it that you want to change? Do you want to change? Do you want to make something happen in your life? Because you're the only person to make it happen in your life. You're the only one who can step forward to do that for yourself. You're the only one. And how will you do that? And will you do that? I had the opportunity because of I wasn't able to get around this weekend, and I had that opportunity to work on my website, and within my website, within the editing part of it, there's analytics that come out that tell me how many people go to my page a day and a week and that sort of thing. But there was also some emails that I wasn't aware of that were dated back to last August and June, July. I didn't know they were there, and so I went in through all those emails, and there were people who had found me through the radio show, this radio show, and there were people who had found me through other means. People recommended them to me, and I went through all the emails, and I answered every email that was in that box. And one of the things that I was able to do is I was able to offer at least 2 people a 20-minute consultation, which they took me up on today before the show. So, I was a little busy before the show, and I was glad because I was just, it just felt good to be able to sit with people and even though we were on Skype, we were face to face in that way, I was able to see them and do readings for them and understand where they were at and allow them to have the understanding that they needed to have, not that I wanted them to have. So, I got to do some catching up today, and it was beautiful, and I can't do that if I'm not willing. I can't do that if I'm not ready. I can't do that if I'm not able to stand in the fire of who and what I am right here, right now. Letting go of the anxiety of what I think I'm supposed to be, or who I think I'm supposed to be, or how I'm supposed to do it, or what it's supposed to look like, or what others are going to think, or what others are going to say, or whatever the judgment may be that you think is happening that's not really happening, because it doesn't really matter. We are our own worst critics, and we judge ourselves so harshly because we don't know how to step into our fire. We don't know how to be in the fire and of the fire. In the fire and of the fire. That's right. That's right. We spend a lot of time in our heads thinking about what could be, instead of actually stepping out of our heads and stepping into our lives and knowing what is and what we should be doing and what we haven't been doing. How many times have you said, "Oh, I had this idea," or have you said, "I wanted to do this," or "I wanted to do that"? How many times has it come out of your mouth? How many times have you kicked yourself? because you wanted to say what you wanted to say and you couldn't. You know, if you're a male and you're dating, and you're out there, and how many times did you want to ask her that she was too pretty? You thought she might be too pretty for you, too smart, or too something else for you, and you didn't think of yourself. Think enough of yourself to say, you know what, that doesn't matter. Because it's just about getting to know somebody. Change the game. What does the game look like? You know, I just want to say hello. Sometimes that's all it is, and you never know what somebody else is thinking. And that's been my experience. You know, I never know what somebody else is thinking until it actually comes out of their mouth. And you know, I don't need to be judging my thinking based on my insecurity. Judging somebody else's thinking based on my insecurity. That's not a great way to live, and it's not a great way to try to make friends, because not everybody is thinking what you think they might be thinking. You think? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, it's only Tuesday, and it's been a real busy week, and it's been an intense week actually since like Thursday. And how many of you feel the same way? You know, how many of you have traveled through the full moon energy of a week ago? You know, and have stood in that power. And it got a little crazy, and it got a little anxious, and it got a little uncomfortable, or it got a little frisky, or whatever the case may be. How many of you stood in that energy? How many of you walked through it, or noticed it, or didn't notice it and don't understand why things were going on in your life? I hope. Understand no matter what happens, that the energy is going to be working in your life, and the powers that be are going to be working in your life, regardless of what you think, say, or do. But if you want to make a difference in your life, you'll step into the power of the being in your life, of the doing of your life, and the saying and becoming and the manifesting of your life. What do you want to manifest? You know, I come from the world of recovery, of the 12-step recovery. You know, I celebrated 25 years in January, and you know, a lot of us, if not most of us, in those circles live in our heads, and they live of what could be, what should be, what could have been, what should have been, I could have been, you know. And the fact of the matter is, it takes a lot of us a long time to come out of that mode. You know, I know a lot of people who are sober a long time, and they're still praying the same prayer they prayed in the beginning. You know, and I've said this here, and I've said it before, and I've said it in other places. God heard you the first time. Should I repeat that? God heard you the first time. God heard me the first time. Why do I keep asking? If I keep asking for the same thing over and over, I'm not standing in faith that I truly believe. And I really think I truly believe. But sometimes, hi human, shows up. You know, and sometimes I just have to stand in the understanding that, you know, sometimes I just don't know how to trust. I don't have a lot of experience, or at least I didn't have a lot of experience in trusting as I grew up as a small child. I didn't trust teachers. I didn't trust any authority figures, and because it was shown to me that I wasn't able to. There were well-meaning people with the name like psychiatrists or psychologists or counselors who would say things to me like, you know, whatever you say here is between you and I'd get home and I'd get a beating, you know. And because it wasn't true. It just wasn't true. And I haven't taken a beating in a long time, and I don't need to, you know. But I'd also need to decipher and discern who I'm going to trust, how I trust, because I don't trust everybody. You know, I just don't, and I just can't, and I just won't. I give my trust to those who earn it, who show to me that they're trustworthy, just like I am. You know, I want to be able to earn your trust, and I want to be able to be trustworthy. But I can't do that if I'm not standing in my fire. I can't do that if I'm standing in who I am and proclaiming what I am, what I do, who I am, and how I do it. Because, you know, you're smart enough to know whether I'm being honest with you or not. Excuse me. You know, we get that sense, you know, and we step back with some people. or we get that sense and we step in with some people and we get close and we try to understand and we stand in our discernment and our care and love of others. Aho, aho, aho. I wanna thank some people. And they're going to be nameless, but I'm just going to put it out there. I just want to say thank you. There's some men in my life who have made in the last 4 to 5 years a difference in my life. And I've never been trusting of men. Through my life, I always gotten close to women because they were safe, and well, frankly, there was something to gain from it for me. And I'm not saying that with trying to be disrespectful. I was a different person, and I wanted different things, and I didn't know how to be with men because I just never learned how to be with men. I learned how to be with women and how to be trusting of them. And while I took advantage of them, and like I said, I'm not proud of that, but that's just who I was. And and I want to thank the men who stand with me. And they know who I'm talking about. There's a whole bunch of them, and I want to thank the ones who seek me out as a healer, as a teacher, as Anthony, just Anthony sometimes, and who say, "Hey man, do you have a minute?" And I offer that minute, and I give my time. Not everything is about making money. Not everything is about a charge or doing things like that, because sometimes it's just necessary to be high human. Aho. 713-955-0332. Call in and push one. Get out of the listen mode and let's talk. I want to talk about an event that's coming up on Sunday. Sunday, I will be doing a drum sound bath, if you will, a journey at 122 East Walnut Avenue, Suite C in Monrovia, 91016 at 11 a.m. It's going to be a 1 hour to an hour and a half drum session, and you'll have the opportunity to journey, to meet your spirit guides, to meet your spirit animals, and ask questions of them, and to have that experience, whatever experience you have. As we do that, I will be drumming. I will bring you into the meditation, bring you into the room, and then I will sing the spirits in, and then I will begin to drum slowly and gently, and then in a monotonous way. And we will journey from wherever you will be starting, wherever your starting point is, and then you'll have the opportunity at the end of the 25 minutes to share what your experience is like and what it was like. Because everybody has a different experience. And even if you have no experience, that's an experience. Everybody's is different. So join us on Sunday at 122 East Walnut Avenue, Suite C, Monrovia, 91016. And it's simply a $10 charge. Pay $10 and come on in and journey with us. All right. So anyways, back to the fire, back to the flavor, back to oxygenating that fire and stoking that fire and deciding where you want to be in your life, because sometimes other people make decisions for us of where they think that we should be in our lives, and those aren't fair decisions. It's not fair for other people to choose for us. It's one thing to not be able to choose for yourself if you're incapacitated or something, but no one should be able to choose for us our destiny and who we are and what we are, because they feel we owe it to them because maybe they brought us into this world. Can you imagine? Or having to live up to the dangling carrot, that people hang in front of us because they think what we do is frivolous and it's not worth anything, and they don't understand because they don't understand like we understand. And maybe they don't need to. Maybe only I need to understand the way I understand. 713-955-0332. Give us a call. Push one to get out of listen mode. We're in our last 10 minutes of the show. And, how do you want to step in your power? When will you? And can you? I believe you can. I have the faith that you can, and I have the faith that you will. And I have the faith and the understanding that you've had the ability and the power to do so as long as you've been on this earth, and as long as you've been on other planes, and as long as you will be on other planes and other dimensions, you will have the ability to do these things, to make these changes in your life. I didn't know I could. And every time I tried to make changes in my life and I tried to stand on my own, or I stood on my own, I was critiqued, I was criticized. I was put in my place, seemingly. And I wasn't put in my place by others. I was put in my place by myself. I put myself in my place. I took a stand. I stepped into it. I stepped into it. And I'm willing to step into it today. I'm willing to step in my power. I'm willing to take the time with others and be there because somebody took the time with me. I mentioned Master Seal. I mentioned Jeannie Love. And I mentioned Crow Mother Emma. And I thank them wholeheartedly because they stood with me. They still do. In fact, I'm going to see Master Seal tomorrow for lunch. And I can't wait. I'm excited. And I get to see Reverend Emma, Crow Mother, tomorrow at 9 a.m. for a long, 3.5 mile walk. And I get to spend that time too. I get the 2-for-1 tomorrow, or I get to do the Tuesdays on Wednesdays. with those two. And I'll reach out to my teacher, Jeannie Love, on the phone and say, hey, hi, how you doing? Who do you want to reach out to and how do you want to reach out? You can reach out to me if you want to have a 20-minute consultation, or if you want to get to talk a little bit, feel free. I give 20 minutes away free. You can reach out to me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can reach out to me at my phone, office phone, area code 818-442-1717. You can also check me out. I'll check out my new and updated website. It's not the complete URL isn't ready yet, but I'll be launching in about a month or so. But you can go to sacreddrum24.weebly.com, and you can look me up and you can see exactly what it is that I do. And you can look at some of the packages that I put together for energy healings and sessions and ways of healing that I offer. And you can go, you can pick one out if it works for you, and you can, give me a call or reach out to me, and we can make payment arrangements with your credit card and do that sort of thing. Anyways, it's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's 1:52 on Pacific Coast time, and how are you ready to change? Are you ready to change? When will you become ready to change, and can you change? I know you can. I trust that you can because I trust you, and I said that I have trust issues. I don't always tell the truth about the way I trust because I trust how I trust, and how I trust is none of your business. So 713-955-0332. Push when to get out of listen mode. And, it's been a fabulous Tuesday already. It's been a full Tuesday, and it was a full Tuesday at 10 o'clock this morning. It was just a full Tuesday. And I want to thank my Creator Great Spirit for supporting me and loving me and allowing me to breathe, if that in fact is the case. If it is the case that Great Spirit allows me to breathe, I want to thank Him for it, or thank her, the duality. Oh, Mateo. I don't believe that Creator is male or just female. I believe that Creator, Great Spirit, is male and female, and He is they are the duality of male and female, of giving, of receiving and giving. Aho, the yin and the yang. Aho, ebb and the flow. Aho, O Mateo, Radhe Govind. Aho. They've allowed me and they've taught me how to receive and to give, because I can't do one without the other. When I am receiving and when I am giving, I am in perfect balance with who and what I am. I am standing in my place of power when I am receiving with my left hand. with the divine left hand of the feminine and giving and moving forward with the divine masculine hand of my right hand. Aho, I'm in balance. And when I bring those two together, and they are not autonomous, when I bring those two together in the center of my being, and I am balanced and I'm aligned, I become she, man, Sha, man, and so do you. I believe it to be so. I believe it to be so. I believe it to be true. Stand in the power of the giving and the receiving, or the receiving and the giving of the yin and the yang, of the ebb and the flow, and stand in your power. What does your power look like? There are some who don't know how to receive, and there are some who give too much or don't know how to give. And you just have to find that balance and seek out help. I'm not the only person that can help you. There are many out there. I'm not unique, to the kind of help that you can get. I am just one of your choices. I am just one of the many that can help you on your path. And what does your path look like? Do you walk the narrow road, or do you walk on a broad highway? This is one of the things that, like the chicken and the egg in the 12-step programs. People say, well, my roads get narrower, and I'm like, I've been sober 25 years. My road gets wider. I'm on the broad highway. I don't wear blinders, or I can't see what's ahead of me, or I can't see what's aside. I see everything, and I deal with everything, and I work with everything the way I need to, not the way you need to. You need to work with everything and see everything the way you need to. Oh, and if that's seeing a narrow road, so be it. But I don't live on a narrow road. I live on the broad highway. I remember when the I-5 that runs through California, in a lot of places it was only 2 lanes on each side, and now it's like 6 to 8 lanes on each side, and that's changed over my lifetime, and I got to see that happen because that's the way I live my life, and I watched it happen. And I watch it happen in my life, and I grow, and I expand, and I breathe, and I stoke, and I burn a fire that's deep inside of me that has always been there, but I was never taught how to stoke that fire till I was taught to stoke that fire, and I started to depend on me to stoke it, not on somebody else. Aho, aho, aho. I want to thank everybody for coming to another Tuesday edition of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. I have been afforded the opportunity to express myself and to put my voice out there for others to hear, because I have something to say. And if you feel that I don't have anything important to say to you, that's okay too. There's other shows on this network you can find, and Reverend Tiffany White, Sage Woman, will tell you that too. She has many shows. And there again, I mentioned Tiffany. I want to thank her and her fabulous staff and team, because there are hundreds of them that run this, this production company, and they do a great job. And they never do a disservice. They are always of service. And if I can ever be of service to you, I ask you again to reach out to me. You can find me through my website, sacreddrum24.weebly.com, or you can send me an email at anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can reach out to me on my phone at area code 818-442-1717. All right. So we're coming to the end of the show, and I will ask you again, how do you want to change? Do you want to change? And can you change? And on the last one of can you change, I will say you can, you will, and hopefully you do. And if you need somebody to walk with you down your path, I will hold your hand. I will stand behind you. I will stand next to you, and I will lead you if you need to be led. But reach out to somebody, not just me. Find somebody that you trust and that you feel will love you through anything that you can tell them, because you can't tell everybody everything, but there's some people you can tell everything to, and they will love you regardless of who you think you are or who you think you've been. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this has been the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And we've been talking about the third chakra, fire, fuego. I can, I will, I do, I am your self-esteem. Step into your power. Step into the force that you are and that you have always been, and be the best person that you can be. Aho, and thank you for coming. Bye-bye.